Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Rangers pitcher Patrick Corbin says he almost missed a start after something bit him on his right foot. Tony, you ever been bitten there?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, yes, but I was paying for it, so it's different.
Ooh.
That's funny. That's funny, isn't it? A spider, I believe it was a spider that bit Patrick Corbin.
Oh, really?
Spider.
A
Yes.
rattlesnake can
That's
get
what
you
I
there,
read.
too. I know guys out here in the desert who felt a little clip on the heel through the golf shoe and the sock, and it was a rattlesnake bite. Yeah, how about that?
That's a lot more severe than a spider bite, you would think, a rattlesnake bite. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Dion gets heat from Colorado alums, the NHL hopes for a third great story, and Brian Windhorst joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with tonight's final round of play-in games. The first game is Miami and Atlanta, with the winner set to play a first-round series against Cleveland. The late game is Dallas at Memphis, with the winner slotted to go against Oklahoma City. Wilbon, which teams do you expect to win tonight?
Tony, these picks are going to be narrower than one might expect, partially both of them based on health and some other conditions, and particularly health. Atlanta's got issues here and there, and the principals look like they'll play. You know, Trey Young did his thing the other day, which I thought was okay because I thought he basically made his teammates feel better, even though it was awkward. He's going to get fined, and he should have, and he was thrown out. But I'm going to go with Miami. Based on what I saw, Miami delivering a beat down in Chicago the other night, I'm going to go with Miami. Those guys, some of them have experience from being in something called the NBA Finals. Going with Miami. Every bone in my body says pick Memphis at home. Because when Ja is out there, and even when he's not sometimes, they got depth. They got scoring from everywhere, rebounding from everywhere. They can defend. But, Tony, you don't even know whether Ja's going to tee it up. I mean, it's a game-time decision. They have won without him, but he's such a wild card. I'm going to learn my lesson. I've been counting on Memphis all year. No, I'm not counting on Memphis. I'm going with Dallas, who I'm sort of rooting for a bit, like you and I talked about yesterday, because of what's happened to them. So Miami and Dallas.
All right, I fully expect Dallas to win, and I expect them to win because they have an experienced NBA coach in Jason Kidd.
Great
Jason
point.
Kidd has coached that team all this year.
Terrific
He's coached
coach.
it last year and years before that. He developed this team until Nico Harrison traded away Luka Doncic. And the guy sitting on the other side of the bench from Memphis has coached in 10 NBA games, and he's lost 6 of them. Excuse me. And his team couldn't inbound the ball at a critical juncture against Golden State. So I expect Dallas to win, and also I'm aware of the fact that Ja Morant might not play, which makes me expect Dallas to win even more. I expect Atlanta to win, though I am rooting for Miami to win. And I'm rooting for Miami to win without Jimmy Butler because, as you know, I feel that Jimmy Butler tortured that team for days and weeks till he got what he wanted. I don't think he cared about his teammates. I think he only cared about himself. So I would love to see Miami win without him, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Atlanta's going to win this game. The one bet that I would absolutely make is Trey Young will not get ejected in this game.
No,
and those are the
not
teams
tonight.
I think are going to win. Not tonight.
No, I don't. I'm with you. I don't see that ejection.
The NBA playoffs officially start tomorrow, which makes it a perfect time to welcome in our great friend, ESPN senior NBA writer and the host of the Hoop Collective podcast, Mr. Brian Windhorst. Let's start with this. The Lakers host the Timberwolves beginning tomorrow. What do you think would be considered a successful postseason for the Lakers?
Boy, does that depend on who you ask, because out here in L.A., there's a lot of excitement and belief that the Lakers are about to go on a run. And I will say, in a very challenging Western Conference, getting the 3 seed and getting on the side of the bracket with the less experienced but still potent Rockets and not on the side with the Thunder is not the worst place to be. That said, I believe that the Lakers are still a flawed team. They still aren't well balanced on their roster. They're still really relying on playing a true center only a handful of minutes a half. They go small almost immediately. Down the stretch of the season, their defense was not that great. They won a lot of important games to get that 3 seed, but The defense was worrisome a little bit. Now, I think Luka and LeBron are a great 1-2 punch. They've already established that. Austin Reeves gives them a lot of optionality. I think they can go on a run, but I think they're going to be at their best, guys, next year. I think this year is about proving the concept and proving how LeBron and Luka can work together. Then make some changes in the offseason to build out that roster. And let's talk about them as a championship contender a year from now. But I realize there's a lot of people who think that that's too conservative.
Well, we didn't even think we'd be talking necessarily about the Clippers, Brian, 2 months ago. But the return of the real Kawhi Leonard, and now on the Denver side, the departure of Michael Malone, make me have no idea what to expect in this series. Do you have concrete notions of what Nuggets Clippers will deliver?
I'm very happy to say I have no idea who's going to win. And that series to me is to me what I'm really going to be focused on. I think what's going on with Kawhi Leonard is very possibly the most important thing in the whole NBA playoffs right now. Because the way he played this down the stretch of this season, he looks like the Kawhi from 2019. And what I mean is getting lift on the jumpers, creating separation, getting out there as a defender, and he's surrounded by a team that is really nicely complemented. They have defenders. They have James Harden as a ball handler. Their center, Ivica Zubac, is having a breakout season. He can cause problems. There's nobody in the league who's had success against Jokic. Jokic has got a great record against everybody. But if there's somebody who's scored some points on the cards, Zubac has done it. Zubac has had some moments against him where he's played him either somewhat neutral or even once or twice gotten him. And so Kawhi playing this way opens up everything. Zubac playing the way he is opens up a chance to deal with Jokic. So I have extraordinary respect for the Nuggets, but my gosh, am I fascinated by the Clippers. And if the Clippers get through this series, am I fascinated by a potential second-round matchup with the Thunder. The Thunder's potential road is brutal. For a 68-win team to have to face either Jokic or maybe a prime Kawhi and Harden in the second round, that's kind of not fair.
Let's move across the country for a second to something Tony will actually care about. I love it that Knicks fans are nervous Nellies right now, Brian, everywhere you turn. I think it's for good reason because I think Detroit could beat the Knicks in this series. Am I crazy, or do Knicks fans have every reason to worry about what's coming?
I feel like I have to give the Knicks a pep talk, the Knicks fans a pep talk. Look, are they going to win the title this year? Hell no. They haven't laid a glove on the teams ahead of them. They're not doing it. But they've had a great season. You know the last time these guys won 50 games back-to-back years? Pat Riley was the coach.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know a time when a guy like, they had a big man put up numbers like Karl Towns? We're talking about Patrick Ewing in the 80s. You know the last time they had a guy like Jalen Brunson put up this kind of point in scoring? How about Richie Guerin? I think he played against Tony in summer camp. Can we just acknowledge that these guys are having a really good season? It's not a great team. It's not an elite team, but it's a very good team. They won 51 games. Also, they're fully healthy. And Jalen Brunson has proven to be a monster in the playoffs. Of course, I respect Cade Cunningham. Of course, I have to point out that the Pistons went 3-1 against them in the regular season. But I'm here to tell you the Knicks are okay. And they're going to be okay next year and the year after that. And their play all along was a 2 or 3 year window, not just this year.
All right, we'll get you out of here on this. It's a long question. Hang with me. The Warriors and the Rockets start on Sunday. The last time these two teams played, Ime Udoka got into it with Steph Curry. And I thought this was a mistake when somebody showed it to me. Steph Curry just scored 3 points. 3 points, Steph Curry. Houston won. What does this tell you about this series, if anything at all, Brian?
Okay, so guys, I think this is going to be the series you're going to be reviewing a lot of tape on for the next 2 weeks because I think this is going to be hand fighting. And I think this is going to be a big series about officiating because the Rockets are going to want to play very, very physical. The Warriors have the star power. Jimmy Butler is a guy who's going to try to get to the line 15, 20 times. They're going to try to rough up Steph Curry with Amen Thompson like he did the last time they played, held him to 1 of 10 shooting. Dylan Brooks is going to be trying to cause problems. He's trying to get under people's skin. Draymond Green is going to know all this. He's going to come into every single one of these games and try to get control of the officials. He's going to try to intimidate some of the Rockets players. I think this is going to be a series where, yes, it's going to be about Jimmy and about Steph's shot making. It's going to be about Ime Udoka over there menacing and getting his and firing up his guys. But I think this is going to be straight hand fighting. And if the Warriors are able to get the fouls called on the Rockets and not let them play defense like they want, it's pointed in that direction. If the Rockets are allowed to play physical with Steph Curry, and if they're allowed to play physical with Jimmy Butler, they're going to put size on him, then it could go the Rockets' way. I'm pre-warning you that there's going to be people in their feelings about the officiating in this series.
Happy anniversary, Charles Barkley. Around this day 25 years ago, while with the Rockets, Barkley returned to the court following 4 months of rehab for a ruptured left quadricep in what was supposed to be his final season. Barkley scored on a rebound and putback against Memphis, promptly left the game to a standing ovation in Houston. He was done right there and said afterwards, quote, "I can't explain what tonight meant. I did it for me. I've won and lost a lot of games, but the last memory I had was being carried off the court. I couldn't get over the mental block of being carried off. It was important psychologically to walk off the court on my own."
Tony, people have no idea now when they listen to Charles, who, as you know, well, for both of us, just about our favorite person talking on television. They have no idea how tough Charles had to be, the physical era he played in, having to go up night after night against the likes of Karl Malone and Charles Oakley and Sean Kemp when the position was so different than it is now. Kevin McHale, great players, tough, elbow you in the mouth, and the official said play on. Charles did that much shorter than all those other guys, but never out-toughed, never.
Let's go quickly to the big finish. Bucks-Pacers starts tomorrow. Which team do you like in that one?
The Bucks are so old, I do, but if Dame gets back for most of that series, I like the Bucks, I think. Bill Belichick landed South Alabama transfer, quarterback Gio Lopez. Is that really significant?
It's the one he wanted. Will he wear number 12? Jake Paul, your boy, will fight Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. on June 28th. You intrigued by that?
I'd be intrigued if he was fighting Senior, who's 62, but one of the great fighters of all time. Junior, I didn't know. Tyler Soderstrom of the A's hit his 9th yesterday. You impressed with that?
Yeah, leads the majors. Last one, Yamamoto versus DeGrom tonight. Who you got?
I guess Yamamoto. It's early for who you got in baseball. Early.
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Here's the Canadian flag you wanted. We're out of time. We'll try to do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Have a great weekend, knuckleheads. And now, you know what's coming next. By the way, Tony, it's a ball night, a ball weekend. Here's sports.
Michael Wilbon.
PTI. Quick check of the first round series prices. The Dubs are favorite to knock off the Rockets despite having the 7th seed, and the 5th-seeded Clippers are a slight favorite over Denver. Tony and Mike have much more in tonight's PTI bonus topic.
All right, Wilbon. What's the most interesting NBA first round series?
I'm going to mimic you. I got to go to the glasses because I had to have some notes here. None of my interesting series are going to involve Oklahoma City, Cleveland, or Boston, the 3 best teams in the league. There's not time for that. We'll get to them. Tony, in the West, 3 of the series. Lakers, Minnesota is fascinating. Warriors, Rockets may be the most fascinating series of all the first rounders. And Nuggets, Clippers, I don't know what to expect, but the return of Kawhi Leonard fascinates me. Also, Milwaukee, Indy, from a basketball standpoint, young versus old stars. Giannis, I think this could be his last series in Milwaukee Bucks uniform if they get knocked out. And Knicks, Pistons. Knicks, Pistons, Tony, I think Detroit is an important basketball city to the league. And it has been off the map for several years now. It makes Knicks fans nervous, but I like the series, and I'm interested in seeing all of those.
Okay, so yes, you just gave 5 series. The question was, which is the most interesting?
I don't know.
Which is the most interesting? Which? Tell me.
Warriors, Houston.
Okay. All right. You know what I'm going to say. I'm going to take a different position here.
Okay.
To be in the most interesting series, you have to have the most interesting team. The most interesting team from the day Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers is the Los Angeles Lakers, because LeBron and Luka are the most fascinating and most interesting pair of players playing together. So, Mike, to me, as long as they're in it, the Lakers,
right,
they are the most interesting team. Consequentially, their series becomes the most interesting series to me.
Tony, listen, there's no way I'm going to argue against that. And Minnesota's worthy. Because Minnesota was in the conference finals last year, and Minnesota can beat.
That's right.
Minnesota's the one team to me, well, not the only one, but can beat any of the top teams if they played them in a 7-game series, but they can also go out the first round because they could just be stupid. So I don't know what to expect, which makes that series fascinating, like you're saying. But, Tony, Houston's coming. Ime Udoka seems to know what he's doing. They're going to try to rough up Steph Curry, the golden child. A lot going on. That's it. We're done. Back to you.